Hello and welcome everybody. A good evening from our side. As you can see, I am here, Lisa Jans, Job Coach Germany, and wonderful Kerstin Brunner, Finance Ambassador. Hi,
Hi,
Kerstin.
Lisa. Nice to
Great to
see
see
you.
you. And for everybody that is watching, feel free to let us know in the comments where you're tuning in from. Kerstin and I are tuning in from Germany, but from different locations in Germany, and with our little logo that you can see in the corner of this picture of our videos, you can see that we are talking about the Welcome to Germany Summit 2022. So the very first Welcome to Germany Summit ever, as far as we know. So Kerstin and I have been organizing a summit, and we are still in the process. We're still in the making of the summit, and we want to give you a little glimpse at what we are actually doing behind the scenes and what you can expect and how much work is involved in organizing a summit like that. So just to give you a quick overview, we have designed this summit for expats, immigrants, internationals in Germany, newcomers in Germany, repats who are coming back to Germany, to have a central destination to get all sorts of information that they need in order to have a great start here in Germany, whether you're new in Germany or coming back, because this can be overwhelming. And Kerstin and I have come up with this idea to bring together various experts that are specialized in working with foreigners, internationals in Germany. Whether that is immigrants, expats, or repats, doesn't really matter. You name it. And this is what we're going to talk about today. And we will probably organize a little series of these behind the scenes live streams. So if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the comments, and then we can discuss them either tonight or discuss them at a later live stream. Today, we have already prepared a couple of things, and the first thing that we wanted to talk about with regards to from scratch to the summit is the technical side of things. So let's go back one step, Kerstin. Do you remember how we actually came up with that idea? I know we discussed it at the beginning, like in the last video again, but I know we have known each other for roughly a year now. And that's when we started talking with one another. And then all of a sudden, through this really wonderful collaboration that I thank every day that we have found one another, we came up with a brilliant idea of organizing a summit. So with regards to the technical side of things, is there anything that pops up in your head?
Yeah, sure. So, as we met each other, I know in our first conversation we talked about the gap regarding English services for expats, repats, and internationals here in Germany,
Right.
and that this from both of us a hard topic to provide services and to support people coming to Germany to get easier into their life here. And you and I, we do have networks, or we did have networks before we met. And then we talked about who's in your network, who's in my network. And then we sat together and said, okay, it would be great to have a stage where everyone working with internationals, repats, expats, immigrants can rise up the voice and talk about the hard topic and why he or she is in this niche, I will say, because it's not that huge, this area. And to have the possibility to give an idea what this person supports, in which kind of area this person supports, and what kind of offer the person can make to the participants.
True. Yeah, that's true. And I remember, so that's a good point that you mentioned, that we just thought, okay, from the struggle of first on this one hand side, not having a lot of information in a language like English that a lot of people can understand, because it's just a more common second language all over the world compared to German. So that was this gap that we have seen. And then also combining our networks together to just have a bigger impact and help more people, so that your audience can profit and benefit from the services that I provide, and that my audience can benefit from everything that you provide. And just from that moment, I remember that we came up with the idea to do some more live streams, talk about topics that might be interesting to our communities. And then we both got invited to another summit. So we got invited to the Tech Jobs Fair, which is a summit that is designed for people that are searching for jobs in the technical field. So it's also UX UI designers, IT people, also engineers. And but this fair is not just specialized in the German labor market, but it's also specialized like all around the globe, specifically for the people in the tech field. And that's when we both first were able to practice how that actually works from the back end, how a summit is set up in a way. So we were both invited as guest speakers to talk at the summit about our hot topics, about the topics that we can help people with. And that had a huge impact. I remember that both of us have increased our networks through that as well. And we were able to talk, I think, on not just the day before, but on the day of the summit, and also on the day after, or the couple of days afterwards. There were people approaching us, and they finally had a destination. They finally had a person that they could talk to with regards to their specific problem, whether that was job coaching or understanding also with regards to all of the different insurances that there are in Germany, or also with regards to just financial education in general, that they could approach you. So that was the first time when we both were able to see how a summit actually works. And then I think a couple of days, weeks later, we came up with the idea, hey, let's organize a summit ourselves. And for everybody that is watching currently, just keep that date in mind. It's the 29th of September from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. And we have various experts that will be talking about various topics that will be of interest to you if you're interested in living and having a wonderful life here in Germany. And you can sign up for the summit through the link that you will find in the comments below this video. Now we have a comment. So let me just quickly share that comment. So it's let me say, Zakir Hussein, I want to work in Germany as a technical skills railway industry. So now you know this is a perfect opportunity to contact me, for example. And so now you're asking how to approach, and you can, for example, approach our entire network, or just simply send us a direct message on LinkedIn. Okay, that's the easiest way how to get in touch with any of us, whether you want to get in touch with Kerstin, with myself, or with any of the other contacts. But feel free to pop your questions in the comments. So that's basically how we came up with the idea of the summit, because we were invited as guest speakers. Do you remember how you felt when you were invited to that summit, Kerstin?
Oh, I was very nervous because it was one of my first baby steps, going live, talking via internet regarding my heart topic. And it was really nice because they do have a lot of lovely hosts there. So this is something we thought about as well, that we want to get in this role as host, that the speakers can feel comfortable and don't have that stress, because for most of them, it's a new situation, talking to all these unknown people outside, or everyone who's online here. And for me, it was very interesting. I learned a lot, and very exciting. And how about you, Lisa? Do you know how you felt?
Yes, I was nervous. I remember. I mean, I normally don't have the issue with speaking in front of people, and having a summit like that was a new experience for me. So I prepared my topic that I wanted to talk about. I was a little bit afraid that I wouldn't get through the entire thing, all of the information that I wanted to share, because normally what happens at the summit is that you only get a specific time slot, and then you don't want to use up the time of another speaker. So you just want to use that and yeah, just have that respect for all of the other speakers, that they have enough time as well. But what I was most nervous about was, first of all, the comment section with all of the questions that they had, and because there was a Q&A session at the end. So I was able to present my topic, which was a normal thing for me, because that's what I normally do when I'm talking to my clients and coaches. But then obviously there's something that you never can prepare, and that is the Q&A section. So they had a moderator that came in and would ask the questions of the audience. And the most thing that I was afraid of, that there would be no questions, but there were actually so many questions that I didn't even know how to answer. But that was good, because afterwards the people were able to contact me, and that's what happened. So I was as nervous as you were, Kerstin, and I just thought, okay, let's try that now. It's the next big step here. And I think we did very well. I think we both did very well. I mean, I was able to participate in yours, and you were brilliant. You explained it. I'm always so inspired when I'm listening to your talks, because you come across so professional. I always have the feeling I'm so bubbly and talking with my hands a lot, but you just come across professional. And I know, okay, what Kerstin is telling me, that's just, it's safe and sound. And then I just love it. And I always have the feeling that we're inspiring one another.
Yeah, that's right. So it's when I have a look at your speeches, then I often think, okay, maybe I need to wake up and be more alive, I would say.
No,
so
that's not.
I think this is something that it's a specialty in our relationship.
Yes,
yeah, this
that's
is
what
why
I
it
think as
works
well.
very well. And so we can let the people know that normally when we meet up every second week to have a talk regarding open topics, and I've never worked so smooth with another person, I will say. So this is really great, and we do have a lot of ideas, and yeah, it's so inspiring to work with Lisa. That's perfect. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I have the same feeling. I think we spoke about that before, that in school it was always so difficult, group work and all of these, and even at work in the corporate world, having a teamwork, you sometimes have people that don't want to work, but with us it just comes so natural. And that's also something that we wanted to share with you guys from behind the scenes. So Kerstin and I have divided our tasks a little bit, so that we don't have to do everything on our own. But for example, Kerstin is taking care more of the technical side of things, and I have the feeling more of the project side of things. So she keeps me on track with, this is what we need to do, and these are the next steps, and have we thought about that? And with new ideas, Kerstin is always very good. And then I can do, for example, the interviews with other people, and just do all of the talking and live stream interviews with our experts, for example. And I feel that we have divided that quite equally, which is why, so it's very balanced, at least that's what I feel. And I feel very comfortable with that, because I have the feeling that both of us is working in that field that we naturally feel our strength. So my strength is speaking and just being live and in front of the camera, and you can just keep everything in place and that everything is working. Yeah, so because it takes a lot of coordination, especially coordinating the other speakers and what the topics will be, and pictures, and especially the marketing side of things. That's also something that we want to talk about. But so with regards to the technical side of things, is it all right if we dive into the costs now, or is there anything else that there's one thing that we wanted to mention, right?
So
Okay.
we talked about that we were speaker on the tech job fair and how everything works, and that we did have the idea to make our own summit. And then questions came up, for example, how can we provide the summit regarding the technical side? And this is something you got in contact with someone from this tech job fair and asked regarding the software they using. And then, Lisa, you can share your knowledge now. How many costs would come up if you use professional software for that?
Yeah, exactly. So that was actually something that I don't know. It was more like a massive wave that overcame us. So we first came up with a project plan to just write. So we wrote down all of the different things that we have to consider, and all of the so apart from finding speakers and the topics and so on, we first wanted to make sure, okay, do we have the right technology to actually be able to provide a summit like that? So because we both were guests at the Tech Jobs Fair and we are in good contact with the people who organized that, I was able to contact them and ask them, okay, what's the software that you used? Because the software was it was great to use. And I especially don't want to mention the software tonight, but I will tell you the prices. So because there were different softwares that I compared the prices basically. So the software that the Tech Jobs Fair is using is something that I really like, because they have this backend that Kerstin and I were both able to explore when we were guest speakers. So they had this welcome lounge, and they had these comments that you can that you were able to share with the entire event. Then also in smaller versions. In smaller versions in your what was that in your talk. So when you had your talk and then there were the guests there, so that was something, and those were the people that I contacted, and the price that they mentioned to me was starting at 6,000 euros for this one-time event. And that was something where I said, oh my Lord, how are we going to provide that without asking the participants for a massive amount of money, especially for the very first event that we are planning. So that was one thing. Then all of the others. So I will talk. Well, I will mention I will mention 3 names, and then you can make up the prices. So currently we are live streaming with StreamYard. Then everybody that also knows something else, that is Zoom, and that is something that I've used before. And then also something that where you can provide conferences like that is something like AirMeet. There are also other softwares that you could use, for example, Adobe. You could also do something like MS Teams and so on. But there were 3 prices that I basically compared with one another, and they were all accelerating once you said that you were providing a conference, like a virtual digital conference. So the 6,000, the problem also was that they wanted to know from me how many participants would be there. And I couldn't say that because it has never happened before. We haven't organized that, and I haven't found anybody who has organized that. Also, the experts that we have now told me, finally, somebody is organizing that, because it's just way too much work. I always wanted to be part of something like that, but it has never happened before. So there's just nothing that we can compare. And we didn't want to pay these 6,000 euros out of our own pocket without knowing what will come out of that at the end. Yeah, so we would have had to pay that amount of money just to have this entire setup of software just for this one day. And that was just, that was, I don't know. It was just, in my eyes, too expensive. Just for us having that as a trial run. So this year, what we're doing is that we said we need to find a software or an option somehow to organize that for free, not just for us as the speakers, as the organizers, because obviously we're not doing that for free because we are putting all of our effort and time into it, but also for free for the participants. And then we can see from there whether there is enough interest, and then we can always increase and make this event bigger, maybe next year. Yeah, so depending on you all who are sitting in the audience and watching us right now, we will then, once the summit is over, have an evaluation of whether this is worth it, whether you actually need that information from our side, or whether we are just doing that for our fun. So that was actually something where I thought, okay, that is quite overwhelming. And also the talks that I especially had with regards to the software, where they told me it's 6,000 euros, that was just the starting point. So they could have gone higher. They could have probably gone a little bit lower. You always find options where you can find roughly about 1,000 to 2,000 euros if you wanted to do like a private event. But the problem was we are not private. And whenever I'm telling the marketing people that we have speakers involved, they would ask me, okay, how much are the speakers willing to invest? And I said, well, for this year, we are doing it for free. And obviously the software providers don't want to do that for free, which I totally understand, which is completely fine. So we came up with the idea, let's use the stuff that we're currently using. So the things that we know, that we like the software that we get along with, that is already in place because we're using it on a regular basis, not just a one-time thing. And that's why we came up with the idea to use StreamYard. So I'm telling you now, StreamYard is also not for free, but one person at least has to have an access account where you're paying amount of, I can tell you, so because you can see the price, so it's $25 per month, I think. That is something. But then this is the great thing, you can stream to 3 different channels, and that's what we're currently doing. We're streaming to Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and all of our audiences are basically coming from LinkedIn, like in the biggest ones, I would say. And this is something that we're providing because many people that are coming to Germany are coming due to the economic situation in Germany, due to finding jobs in Germany. And obviously, if you then come back, even if you just come back for fun, there's still things that you have to organize in the bureaucratic life of Germany, and have to organize insurances, for example. And that's obviously something where Kerstin can also help. And that's why LinkedIn is a big base for us. And yeah, so this is basically what we had to deal with from the technical and cost side of things, from the back end, just for the start. Did I miss anything, Kerstin?
No. So just to have a summary. So what we had in mind is we want to create a stage for all the speakers, that they have the possibility to speak about their hard topics for free. And as you said before, we want to have the possibility for the participants to participate for free, to get more information, to learn about these services on English, which exist here in Germany. And this is our main topic. So this is why we said, okay, we want to give this for free for the speakers and the participants, and then see after the summit what will be next. Right.
Yeah.
So,
and I just got another idea. I have to write that down. Sorry, but this is what happens when Kerstin and I are working with one another. She's talking and I just, oh gosh, okay, good. And when I'm talking, Kerstin has ideas. But yeah,
so
that's
for me, the next topic is how much time we invest a week for the organization. So most of you have seen that we started with our marketing on the 1st of July. And
that's
Lisa
what you've seen, but that's just what you've seen. Behind the scenes, it started a lot earlier.
Yeah. It was in the beginning or middle of May.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we sit together and had a lot of talks. And so for me, I try to calculate. So normally I'm 1 to 2 hours on LinkedIn a weekday,
Yeah.
and it's 1 to 1.5 hours daily for producing content and checking the postings and answers questions or whatever. So it's mainly 3 hours a day for
Yeah.
me. And since 1st of July, so normally I posted on LinkedIn 3 times a week,
Yeah.
and right now I'm posting 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Since
Kerstin
4
is
weeks.
very busy.
But it's so much fun. I love
Yeah.
it. I love to create all the articles. So I guess we can speak about tools we are using to use Canva to do
Oh,
some
yeah.
designs,
Yes.
or the video tool from Windows to make videos. And it's so inspiring to
Yeah.
have the ideas and to try things. Some work very well, others don't work.
Yeah.
And I mean, so the most technical side we are using is WhatsApp to
Yeah.
send us messages.
Every day.
Yeah, every day. And how about you, Lisa? Do you
Yeah.
know how much time you spend?
Actually, I don't. No. So, what happens when so I'm normally checking LinkedIn also every day, but it's divided differently. So I know from your side that you're posting every day, and I'm not posting every day, but I'm interacting every day. So what happens is that I also have other social media channels such as Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, but my main focus is on LinkedIn. And let's stick with that. So what I'm doing there is that I open up my LinkedIn, and the first half an hour, what I have to do is check all of the notifications, because we're tagging one another. People are commenting, then you're commenting back. Then I'm checking also the posts of the other speakers, and of our network just in general, to engage with other people. And obviously we also, it's not just our little bubble, but there are also other job coach colleagues of mine, and then also other people that are in the same field. Like, I'm also interested in new work, for example. So this is also happening, but it always inspires me, at least, for the interaction with other people just regarding the summit. So I open up LinkedIn, I check all the notifications, I check whether the people liked it, and then when I see that people commented, I always react to the comments. Then I also check the posts of the other speakers, and for that I need more time on the weekends. So sometimes what I'm doing in the middle of the week is that I have like half an hour, but I also check it in between. So it's not very, I sometimes feel that I'm a little chaotic with regards to that, because I'm not just checking it on my laptop, but I'm also checking it on my LinkedIn app on my phone. And that is also very helpful, because I found out that there are different features on the LinkedIn app on the phone. It looks different sometimes compared to the laptop version. So this helps as well. So normally what I'm doing in the middle of the day, I'm checking what's happening on LinkedIn. That is maybe like 15 minutes. And then normally in the evenings, half an hour. So it's maybe 45 minutes. That doesn't include yet that I'm preparing posts. So that's just what I do on a normal basis, weekdays. And then on the weekends, I even take more time for that. Probably I would say on Saturdays and Sundays is the most that I'm doing, is like 3 hours per day, where I'm preparing the posts. And then also go onto the I check actually not I check our marketing plan that we have for the summit. Then I go to the speakers' sites, like their LinkedIn profiles, to check what they have posted and how I can interact and engage, just to give more traffic on those posts, because it might be helpful to the people in my community. So if I see that one of the speakers, for example, Kerstin, is posting something, and she always posts stuff that is important for my community. So then I'm thinking about, okay, do I just like it? Do I comment on it? Do I share it maybe? And then when I'm sharing, I have to write a text for it again. So that is basically what is happening. So I don't know. So I would say like roughly it's probably between 10 to 15 hours a week at least that I'm spending for the summit. And that is on top of the work that Kerstin and I have to do, because we obviously have our daily coaching calls, we have our daily consultations, we do have discovery calls, like from our daily business with our customers. And but we knew that would happen, and we prepared for that. So we started with coming up with a marketing plan that would guide us through the entire time until the 29th of September, when the summit is actually happening. And you can all be sure you will hear from us afterwards as well. So it won't stop there, but it's because we are currently in this marketing phase of the summit and want to include and invite more people. That's why we are engaging so much here on LinkedIn. And so I hope that answers your question.
But I want to go back to one very important point. You said in the beginning that you are more the person doing the interviews and so on. This is an idea that came up, that we want to ask our speakers 3 questions.
True.
To
I forgot
give
about
them this video, to post it on LinkedIn, that you as participants can get a deeper insight. What kind of person is it? What does he or she provide? And how does she or he come to this topic? And that was such a great idea. And so maybe I were able to do this, but it is better to do interviews with Lisa, because she's a person, you forget that there's a camera, and you share all your thoughts, and everything comes from the heart. And this is what we want to show in these videos. And when you follow us or our hashtag, you will get all the information regarding the speakers, and of course all these videos where you can see what type of speakers do we have and what type of topics they do have as well.
Yeah. And then that's something that I forgot. So thanks for reminding me. That's also something on top that you have to calculate with regards to the time that we spend on this summit. So what is happening? We are not just preparing the posts and the texts for it. So as Kerstin said, Canva is very helpful for that, for the design side of things. We really like using that. And we had difficulties with that on the technical side, because sometimes we are preparing designs and then we are not sharing it with one another. And Lisa, where's the design? So that is happening. And I, for example, really like Trello as a project management tool. And that's also how I just keep track with all of the tasks that we have to do. And with regards to the videos, that the intro videos where I'm interviewing the other speakers, it's you have to keep in mind, it's like you have to break it down into smaller steps. You first have to find a meeting with the other speaker when both of you are available. So I am available and the interviewee is available. Then we record the video. Then I will cut the video. I will also use our slides that Kerstin has provided and include that in the video. I will send the video to the speaker, and then the speaker gets a time slot or chooses a time slot when he or she can post that video. So these are the different steps that are involved. And at least for each of the speaker videos, it's probably an hour that we have to do. And that is good timing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Lisa.
Yeah, you're welcome. I mean, that's fun for me. It's I don't have to prepare a lot, just ask questions and the people have to answer. But the technical side, like cutting the video and then preparing everything and sending it also, because there's not just what is most annoying to me. I'm normally very quick, but then videos are always buffering. And if you're cutting them, the buffer time is what takes up the most time. And I normally think about 5 different other tasks that I want to do in the meantime, and then that's nothing. Maybe I should just use that to meditate or breathe in between. Just, okay, Lisa, the video is buffering. Now you can relax for a minute or two.
Or have a tea.
Have a tea. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So so that's basically how much time we spend. And then one more topic that we wanted to talk about is how we actually found our experts or the topics. And yeah, I don't even remember how that all started. I think from my idea, it was we thought about, like, I thought about the people that I know already, and you thought about the people that you had in your audience already with regards to who is working with expats. And then we just simply talked again, had a coffee chat, something like that.
Yes, so from my side, it comes up. I normally get messages from people who are looking for a tax advisor, for an application coach, or I don't know, for a person who I'm not this person. So I'm not able to do tax. I'm not a job coach like you, Lisa. What I provide is financial education to help the people to understand how everything works with finance and insurances. And this, for me, this is the base to think about who's in my network or who do I need in my network. And who of these people will increase the value for the participants.
Yes.
And this is how we came up. And you said, okay, I got questions regarding this and that topic I don't cover. And I said, from my side, is this and that topic I don't cover. And then we had a look on our networks and talked to different people. Hey, we want to make a summit. Do you want to be part of it? And then we explained everything. And this is how the story began.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it's so we also looked at the journey that people go through when they are coming to Germany. So what are they doing beforehand? What do they need to prepare before they come to Germany? Whether you are new in Germany or whether you're repatriating doesn't really matter at this point. Then also, what are you doing in this process and what is important once you are here? So, and from there, it was really easy for me, at least, because as Kerstin said, the first question that comes up is, how do I find a job in Germany? Because that is the base that you need to have when you're coming to Germany. You will need to provide your living. You need to have a job that is paying for your expenses once you're here. That also includes that there are people are always asking for visa. So we were searching for a visa expert, but that turned out to be very difficult because the visa experts are very specialized for each of the countries and normally sit within their countries. But we do have a special guest for everybody that will talk about 3 different visas that he himself went through personally. So that's something that we will cover at the Welcome to Germany Summit 2022. And then also something that was very difficult for me was the relocation. So once you have found your job, you need to find a way on where do I find a flat? How do I actually get to Germany by plane or by a boat or something like that? So all of these things. And I remember that I contacted at least 3 different relocation managers, and they never answered either. Don't know they in the first place, so they never answered. Or the problem was that they were readjusting their audience and would not fit in with our expat work anymore. So Kerstin helped me out with that because she had 2 people in her network that were relocation experts, and they are now part of our summit. So at this point, hello to Tarek and Carla, who are from Moving, who will be our relocation experts. And And then also what is important with regards to before coming to Germany, what you can start, don't have to start, but that is learning German as well. So that is something that we thought about. And then we move into this phase of being in Germany. And that's from, at least from my perspective, is when Kerstin also comes in, because there are so many things with regards to setting up a bank account, getting your finances straight, also understanding the different, like what you're getting. For example, when you have your job here in Germany, and then taxes are being deducted, and all of the different things like insurances that are included. This is something that you need to have in mind before you go to your employer, because that is something that I have experienced when I was working in HR. We wouldn't give the people a choice between the different insurances. We would just say, okay, you're here now, this is your insurance, you're all set. But there are choices that you can make. And that's what Kerstin can explain to you very well. So this is something that comes in at the very early stage of coming to Germany.
You talk about the health insurance, right?
Yes, especially the health
something
insurance.
is
There are
mandatory
others.
in Germany, so
Yeah.
you need to be health insured. And normally
Exactly.
the companies say, okay, you are statutory, but we
Yes.
also do have a private system.
Yeah.
And for me, as someone who's providing financial education, it is important that my clients do have the information to choose.
Exactly. Yeah. So that they actually have the choice and not that the company says, okay, this is what you have and there you go. It can be very easy at the beginning. It can feel easy because you think the company is making the right choice, but you are an individual person. You're unique and only you know what you need. And for that, it's important that you have somebody like Kerstin that you can talk to find out, okay, what are your aspirations in Germany? Are you just staying here for a couple of months? Are you just staying here for a couple of years? Or do you think about staying here and retiring in Germany? And that is something that Kerstin can help you with, to actually go through that process with you and find out, okay, this is important to you. This might be important to you. These are the options and you can pick, not the company. Here, this is what you have. Yeah. And and then obviously from that point, we also found out something that I would say pops in a little bit later. Something that I have experienced myself when I was living abroad, and also when I repatriated to Germany, was something with regards to culture and how to adjust to your culture, to a new culture, or also to your former culture. And that's why we have a lot of intercultural experts in our team as well, that will provide all sorts of topics with a different niche. So, for example, work culture or German traits, or things that I wish I knew before I came or once I was here. All of these different things, they are being addressed. And obviously, topics such as change, like or how this is the topic of hidden grief. How do you actually work with new situations? You've had an idea in your mind of your life, and now you're coming to Germany and maybe everything is changed. This, and on top of that, we thought about, okay, how can we mix that up? How can we mix it up so that the people are not falling asleep in between? And that's why we also have have a movement coach that is providing physical exercise in between. So this is just a rough overview. Yeah, so that we will talk about the different experts more in general and the topics later on, but just a general idea of the topics. Kerstin, what did I miss?
Yeah, you missed someone who's also really important. We do have a podcast host as well.
Yes, right. Oh, my favorite one.
So
True.
he's an expat himself. He lives in
Yeah.
Germany, and he do have a podcast regarding his experiences coming to Germany, live in Germany.
That's true. Yes,
Get
that's
to
true.
know the Germans.
I should know that. Yeah, exactly. Yes, right. So it's not just so, and also that is something special, that all of these speakers that are participating in the Welcome to Germany Summit 2022 have been expats or are working. So have been expats themselves or are currently expats in Germany. So they are not just only providing their particular topic and of expertise, so their expertise, but they are also, they have been in your shoes or they are in your shoes. So they know how you're feeling. They can relate to the ups and downs that you are going through. And I think that is very valuable. And that's why it's also good that we have this podcast host as well. And just people in general who are there for expats and repats and immigrants in general who want to learn more stories about living in Germany. Anything else that I missed? I'm sorry if I missed anyone. I'm so sorry.
No, so maybe someone will join us after this video or after this
Yeah.
live. We don't know. It's so I can give some insights of my mailbox. So
Yeah.
I do get messages from people who wants to be speaker here on the
Yeah.
summit,
Yeah.
and if someone wants to get us a message and it's an interesting topic.
Yeah.
So, and it fits, so maybe. So you have the
That's
possibility
true.
to get in contact with us, also not only to be a participant, also to get a speaker
Slot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
speaker slot. So maybe this is something we can talk about as well. So we do have the speaker slots, and
Yeah.
they are 30 minutes.
Yes.
And you have the possibility to talk 20 minutes regarding your topic, or the speakers do speak, yeah. The speakers talk about their hot topics for 20 minutes, and then we do have 10 minutes for the Q&A session. And as you said, the movement coach, maybe it's more active also for the participants at home to wake up and
Yes,
do
exactly.
some workout. Yeah.
And there was something that I wanted to mention. So exactly. So it's 30-minute time slot for everyone. And so something that you said, that your inbox is full. I also have that. I have the inbox of a lot of other people that are asking me, because they now find out that we are doing this marketing a lot for the summit. So a lot of people are approaching me. Are you still taking speakers? And Kerstin and I are actually because we are both the organizers of the event. So we kind of have the say in, okay, so this is the topic that we can do. We then interview the people, or we are talking with the experts, because it's not just helpful for us if there is a person that is talking about their personal experience. That is something that can happen just in a normal live stream with me, for example. But for the summit, we also want to have people that can actually provide help, because they are doing that regularly. There's only one special guest that is talking about a special topic, so a personal topic, but all of the other speakers can be approached professionally. So that's what is important to us. So if you are thinking about being a speaker and want to approach us, you probably need to be working in that field. So it needs to be like your job, that you are helping expats, immigrants, or repats, or just in general helping people have a great life here in Germany. And
your service is on English. That's important.
Yes, that's important. Exactly, because the summit will obviously take place in English as well. Yeah. So so I think we've covered a lot of things, and we might have mentioned a couple of things that are interesting to talk about at a later stage again. Talk more in detail about the speakers, for example, or about the agenda and all of these things. So for all of you who are listening now, if you have the feeling there is more information that you want to have from behind the scenes, feel free to let us know in the comments, or send us also a direct message, so that we know, okay, so these are the topics that you're interested in. Then Kerstin and I will just simply share it with you. That is fine. And for those of you who are interested in being a speaker, approach us via direct message. And for everybody else that is watching and wants to participate in the Welcome to Germany Summit, feel free to sign up through the link that you will find in the comments. The Welcome to Germany Summit 2022 takes place on the 29th of September from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. German time. And follow our hashtag Welcome to Germany Summit 2022. Okay, Kerstin, did I miss anything?
No, perfect.
Okay,
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you very much for your time. It was, again, a real pleasure to talk to you. I have the feeling that we could do that for hours. So next time, stay tuned for more behind the scenes. This series will continue. And obviously, in the meantime, we will provide lots and lots of other introduction videos of the speakers and just share with you who will be part of the summit so that you know, oh, those are the topics that will be covered there. Yeah. And for everybody, if you have any questions, feel free to approach us through LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media channel, and direct messages are always fine. So, Kerstin, thank you very much for your time, and I'll talk to you via WhatsApp as normal.
Thank you, Lisa. Have a good evening.
You all too. Bye-bye.